tune. Shakedown at Night. Big shout out to Caden, Sam and Lily, travelling back to Manchester. Oh, it's been a really nice show today. I've really enjoyed it. A massive thank you to The Fizz, Mummy Linda, Sally Traffic, Luscious Lottie, Guy 2 Millsworth, keeping us on air. Producer Simon for flying home. And to all of you lovely lot at home for getting involved. Next week, the legend that's Gareth Malone is going to be here. Fingers crossed. We might have some special guests as well for a special little karaoke. And on that note, I will see you next week. This is BBC Radio 2 on the Sounds app, smart speaker, and 88 to 91 FM. Lisa is up next. Night night.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Mike Powell. The BBC understands that Rishi Sunak has secured the 100 nominations from Tory MPs needed to enter the race to become the UK's next Prime Minister. Boris Johnson supporters say he's also got enough support for his name to appear on the ballot. Mr Sunak's camp have demanded Mr Johnson publishes a list of those who are backing him. Leon Emirali is a former government media advisor. He says if party members get to vote between Mr Johnson and Mr Sunak, there will only be one winner.
I do think if it is a straight shoot-off between Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak and the members have their say, then I do think it will be difficult for Rishi Sunak to come out on top. But ultimately, we have to remember that the majority of MPs didn't back Liz Truss, and if Boris Johnson gets in, it will be the same situation and could potentially be more chaos further down the line.
A further 5 people have been arrested in connection with the large-scale disorder in Leicester last month. There have now been more than 50 people detained in relation to the unrest, which saw clashes between groups of mainly young men from Muslim and Hindu communities. 2 people were jailed last week for their involvement. The UK government has said that Scottish victims of the infected blood scandal, which saw patients given contaminated NHS blood in the 1970s and 80s, will receive compensation by the end of this month. Thousands of people who contracted hepatitis C or HIV will be given a £100,000 interim payment. 2 Labour mayors have called on the government to deal with what they describe as rail chaos affecting the north of England. Andy Burnham, the mayor for Greater Manchester, and Liverpool City Region Mayor Steve Rotherham urged ministers to increase funding for the operators TransPennine Express and Northern. The pair were late to their own news conference because their train was cancelled. Catherine O'Brien is from the TransPennine Express.
There's a range of reasons for the spike in cancellations, predominantly sustained levels of sickness, so high levels of sickness, alongside a big training programme that is ongoing for our drivers.
Their comments come as RMT union members have staged a walkout at Avanti West Coast. The action is because of a dispute over working conditions. In the Premier League, Erling Haaland scored the opener and then a penalty for Manchester City, helping them to a 3-1 victory over Brighton. Nottingham Forest secured a shock 1-0 win against Liverpool. The Liverpool boss, Jurgen Klopp, said his side only had themselves to blame.
Massive blow, because I have no idea how we could lose this game, to be honest. Not that we played exceptionally well, but I didn't expect that. It would have been nice if we could have done it, but with all the changes we had to make and the intense week we had behind us, it was clear we have to make a fight of it.
Elsewhere, Everton beat Crystal Palace 2-0. The weather: outbreaks of rain sliding across much of the western UK, particularly heavy in the southwest, drier with clear spells in some eastern parts of the country. BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 6.